Hey, thanks so much for clicking on this link. I want to talk to you today about how I discovered the secret to defeating the universal basis to all religious unbelief without presupposing that the Bible is true. You see, it's an unknown fact to a good many Christians in the world today, and even to a good many unlearned skeptics, that there's actually only one universal philosophical basis to all religious unbelief, and that philosophical basis has actually been collapsed in the context of secular academia. It's truly an amazing development. But before I get into that, I want to share a bit of my story. I was in the middle of a lengthy 25-year journey with God. I had attended seminary and had pastored and had now preached full-time for a number of years. I'd really done everything I could to get my life moving in the right direction with God, and yet now I was feeling confused and skeptical about my own faith. I just kept wondering, how in the world did this happen to me? I just never would have seen it coming only a few years earlier. Up until that time, I had faithfully followed in the path which I believed that God had laid out for me. The problem is that I had done it all without any training in how to rationally defend my faith. And so now, as a result, I found myself looking around at the people in the churches where I served and led, wondering what they were thinking. Didn't they know what I was experiencing? Couldn't they see the struggles just by looking at my face? I felt that even if I managed to be charged with one more spiritual high, I would nonetheless wake up the next day with all the same questions and feelings as before. And so with barely enough strength to either pray or read my Bible, I was now struggling daily with my faith, plagued with increasing doubts and fears. So that was when I made one of the most important personal commitments I've made since choosing to follow the Lord Jesus. I decided that I was not simply going to read the Bible anymore. Instead, I was going to research and study the problem of skepticism in search of a defeater. Now, initially, the idea just sounded crazy to me. I mean, defeat skepticism? Is that even possible? You see, skepticism as a system of thought has held its entrancing and hypnotic effect over the human imagination for longer than the church has even existed. So how was I to find a defeater for a problem this huge? And yet, to my profound shock and to my profound amazement, just 2 years into my research, the problems began to yield to the solutions as they came. Well, since that time, I've gone on to become an expert in my field, a leader of leaders. I've developed a deep intellectual life with God, and my dense academic work is the proof. I've begun a career in Christian higher education. I've had literally scores of visitors come to my website to read my materials. And as you're viewing this video, that number is probably increasing. I've had doors to ministry open up for me, which never would have opened up if I had never stumbled upon the solutions which I did. I've had the opportunity to work with amazing national ministries like Teen Challenge and Campus Crusade for Christ. In short, I have greatly broadened my impact for Christ just by discovering the things that I discovered, and that is certainly a big, big blessing for me. However, in the years since overcoming my own inner battles, my experiences in life and ministry have caused me to realize something. Not all Christians will experience a season like the one that I had weathered and come out the other end safely. In fact, if numbers are right, the majority of them won't, and that thought breaks my heart. And so as my own struggles began to subside, I found myself making a second important commitment. I decided that I was going to do whatever it took to equip believers with the tools they need to utterly dominate religious unbelief forever. And so from that point on, I started breaking down the answers that had led to my own deliverance into simple arguments which were designed to give readers a massive shortcut through the years of my own intensive scholarly research in order to grasp the reasons why we can now know with certainty that skepticism has been defeated. And so today I'm excited to announce that my system is finally ready for release. I'm happy to introduce the Defeating Skepticism Sure Faith Kit. After years of preparation, I have finally distilled my arguments into the simplest possible form so that anyone, including young believers who are preparing to enter into the university, can be equipped with the secret to defeating the universal basis for all religious unbelief. You see, the truth unknown to most Christians and even to the vast majority of unlearned skeptics is that all religious skepticism can be traced back to a single argument that has been utterly defeated by secular academics for almost 40 years. To be honest, I'm not sure that I would have come out of my own inner struggles if I had never stumbled across this breaking insight. But with the help of this new material, believers can discover an argument which was developed entirely by secular academics that has defeated the problem of religious skepticism permanently. So here's what you'll discover within the kit itself. First, my brand new book, How to Defeat Skepticism Forever. My new book contains all the information you'll need to wield my argument effectively. It's broken down into 4 accessible chapters, and it covers such important topics as the problem of skepticism and how to defeat it so that you can silence your objectors. You'll also be getting my free audio version of my book, How to Utterly Defeat Skepticism Forever. Finally, you're going to find in the Sure Faith Kit my Defeating Skepticism mini course. My amazing mini course delivers incredible additional content to the book itself, which is given to help you to gain a clearer understanding and a deeper understanding of my arguments so that you can defend yourself with confidence in the context of discussions. So what I want you to do to get in on this incredible information is just look downward below this video or somewhere around this video and go ahead and click on the link, put in your information, and I'll send you the Defeating Skepticism Sure Faith Kit for free. The only thing that I ask in return is that you be willing to share your story of how this kit actually affects you. So please go ahead and write back to me. I look forward to staying connected with you in the future. Thanks so much for clicking on my link.